Good afternoon, friends of the Boys and Girls Club. It's Miss JoAnne from the Boys and Girls Club of Southeast Louisiana, Covington Unit. The last time I saw you, I was in the swamps. Not anymore. I'm in my own swamp. So to remind you, just in case you haven't seen my video on the swamps, we started talking about what wetlands are, and we said that they were actually wetlands. They were land that much of the time is underwater. There's different kinds of wetlands. There are marshes, which are mostly grass. There are marshes with other animals. There are swamps, which we've talked about, and finally there are what we call bogs. But we're going to really focus mostly on the swamps today. Living here in Louisiana, we're pretty familiar with swamps. They're all over our state, up and down our coast and around the rivers and lakes. As I told you, swamps and wetlands are really that transition from land to water. Now, one of the things that we might have had a chance to do on a field trip or something is visit a swamp. Many of the swamps here in Louisiana have provided long walks, long area walkways that you can go see different swamps. So I hope you've had an opportunity to do that. But today we are going to focus on things that live in the swamps. So we're going to start with some of the crafts that I've made that you are welcome to do at home, and quite easy. So one of the things that you might see in a swamp is a turtle. Now I've simply made this turtle out of a very simple bowl. I painted it green. There are lots of different kinds of turtles in the swamps here in Louisiana. This most common kind would be the snapping turtle. And these are actually what we make soup out of as well. So the thing about the turtles is that they have really quite strong jaws. They're able to snap at things. They're able to get food that way. They also have claws that help them dig for food. So this is a way that you would make a simple turtle. A bowl, a simple head and feet. All right. Another animal that you might see in the swamps are ducks. Now there are all sorts of different kinds of ducks. There's wood ducks, there's mallard ducks, but ducks are all be seen all through the areas of the swamps. There are also going to be lots of different kinds of birds, like hawks, even eagles and herons. You'll see those around oftentimes too. Again, Miss JoAnne used a paper plate. I added some feathers, a head, and some feet. All right. Now, probably the most common animal we think of is the alligator. This is our alligator that I made. I simply cut it from a single paper plate like this. Now with this one I stapled so that the mouth would move a little bit. Added some eyes, I added some teeth. So that's how you make that. Now let's talk a little bit about swamps. First of all, when babies are born, they begin snapping at insects right away. Now, alligators like to eat crabs and fish and frogs and birds, all the things that they can find in the swamps. When they're older, they might eat, and they're larger, they might eat larger animals like nutria, beaver, snakes, and turtles. They can live to be about 100 years old. Not normally, 70 is about the average, but they can be as old as 100 years old. And one of the biggest alligators they find are 13 feet long. That's pretty long. All right. I also want to talk about some of the things that grow in the swamps. Now, when I was in the swamp, you might have noticed behind me some cypress trees. So the bald cypress tree is actually one of our state trees, but it's also something that's very commonly found in our swamps. It's because they're able to live where it's wet. Now, if you see a swamp, you might see a tree that looks a little like this. And this right here is a bald cypress. The thing about bald cypress is they also create what's called knees. These are areas that stick out from the plant. Now, scientists aren't 100% sure. It's actually above the root. Some scientists think it's so that they can breathe and get air. Others believe it's just a way to kind of keep it in the ground because the ground is so wet and muddy. Now, you'll see around here also floating are lily pads. Now, there are tons of different kinds of plants in the swamp.